Asphalt 8 Airborne. Now before you get excited, as you'll know from the title of this video, this is obviously not a race because it's not possible to race with the phone flat on the desk because this game is a tilting game, as everybody who's played it knows. You can't do that. Now, with this being the motorcycle... What was that? Oh yeah, this daily login thing. So right now it's the 26th of October, so right now they're giving me Season 2 tickets. How nice. How do the colors look? They look weird, they look too flashy, too unnatural. It doesn't look like it's just flat. Whatever, I don't know. Okay. Would HDR actually be handy this time, or do I need to just focus it? So what happened right there was just a blueprint. Yes, and that's one of those things I was actually going to discuss this. I mean, that's actually the first thing to discuss is that so it's come far from the simple times to now this complex game with all these cars and all these features. And so because the assembly just happens to be one of the things that pop up right now, let's actually discuss just that. And the blueprints, I think, is one of the changes they made to the game for the worse. Like, it is so ridiculous and it is so complex. And the cars require so many it's not that they require so many blueprints, it's just that the blueprints are borderline impossible to get. Like, if they're not going to be giving them away for like these monthly things, it just makes it impossible to get the cars. Like, even when you look at the Porsche cars, every single one of the Porsches require blueprints. And it's not as though, okay, these are easy to get with there. It's like, you can get them in some of these time-limited events. But the problem with that is that, okay, if you don't have the most buffed up car, if you don't have all your power-ups and your nitro starter and this and that, you won't win. Or even like for the research and development, that, again, as I discovered with the Puget, I still don't know how you pronounce that, it's hard. Okay, see, look at this Maserati, for example, the Maserati MC12. How many blueprints do you need? How do you get them? Well, through all sorts of difficult means. So blueprints, a change for the worse. They need to just make these cars go back to just being cars that you can purchase. And some of these other cars, like the Marusha, for example, or Marusha, however you pronounce it, it used to be an old lower class car, and now when they made a blueprint car, it's just like, are you serious? Like, who is going to want to go out of their way to try and actually get such a low rating car like that? Like a low rated Class A car, like who's going to want that? Certainly not me. They should have just left it as a cheap Class A car, not some blueprint thing to make it look like it's exclusive, when it's not. We know the Marusha sucks, and there's no sugarcoating it. So, what else should I complain about in this video? Yeah, since this is a motorcycle update, why not actually discuss the tour unlocked, Rio de Janeiro continue from the last tour? No, I will not continue from the last trip, because you know what? A normal player can't just win these type of events. Cause it's like, eventually, they're going to make you required to use this. They're going to make you required to like start with like double tanks, or like nitro start and all that. And unless you're the richest player, it's not going to happen. So yes, that's another thing I can actually complain about. The coins. Now, last time I said off camera that honestly, I think that every single race... Is this thing pulsating? Like, I don't know, is the flashlight doing that or is the game doing that? That doesn't look right. That doesn't look natural. Let me see if I can adjust this a little bit. Focus. No, it's still flickering. Hope that's not too annoying. Anyways, yeah, the coins. Every single race in this game needs to pay 3 times the amount that it currently does. Yes, that's right, 3 times. Not 2 times, but 3 times. Because when you look at the cost of these cars, it is astronomical. What's even worse, the maximum prices of some of these cars, especially some of these premium cars that have come out after the Great Wall update, it is absurd. Too many of these cars cost over 1 million coins to unlock, or I guess they call it credits, coins, same thing. And some even exceed 2 million. And it's like, what's the point of that? Like, who's going to have that much time to do it? And you wonder why there's so many hackers. Okay, that's another thing I can also discuss, but I'm not saying that these people should be hacking, because that's extremely annoying, and it makes you not want to play multiplayer. Honestly, that's why I don't play multiplayer. The only time I play multiplayer is when they're like, oh, use this car to get like 20 tokens. Like, you know that thing where it's like, let me go to it. The daily tasks. So like when they're like complete all tasks today to win 20 credits, that's pretty much the only time when I'll actually go multiplayer. Like right now they're asking me to complete 2 multiplayer races using a car from this brand, Nissan. But otherwise, unless I'm gonna be getting a award or something, I don't play multiplayer. There's just far too many hackers. Like when you look, you always see people blinking, and it's like they can't ever move or change positions, like go from first to second or whatever, or like you can't wreck them, or like they always have all these startups and like the nitro on, and you're like wondering, well, okay, how do you get that? Because you're hacked. And they probably have everything maxed. They're probably maxed, they're probably pro'd because they're not playing the game fairly. Like I understand that they make it ridiculous with all these expensive cars and how expensive it is to max out. At the same time, don't hack. If you're not gonna play the game properly, just don't bother at all. But again, maybe if they just made all these races pay 3 times the amount that they currently do, we wouldn't have so many hackers and people trying to bork the system because they're like, there's no way I'm gonna pay X amount of real money. Actually, let me actually go into it. Let me show you how much you have to pay just to get a certain amount of credits. So, okay, if you want 30,000 credits, $249. Screw that. You want 80,000, $649. No, thank you. 170,000, no, 175,000, $12.79. And for 420,000, 25, and then 1.2 million, 63. Then if you want 3 million, you have to pay a whopping $128. Now, I don't know if this is even supposed to be CAD or USD, but I am a Canadian player, so I don't know if when I purchase it, it's going to end up being probably like, I don't know what, depending on, I don't know what the exchange rate is. Like, I don't know how much 128 USD would be going from that to CAD. So I can't comment on that. Here they're trying to say, oh, best value. Well, yeah, right. If I had $128, I certainly wouldn't want to plop it on a game just to get 3 million virtual currency. Like, no way. Like, $130, you know what I can do with that? I can buy a bunch of groceries, or I can get some clothes, or buy a pair of shoes, and just so many other things. Oh yeah, and a card slot. I've been talking about how I need a 128 gigabyte card slot, and for that price, I can get just that. So no, I'm not doing that. Let's go back. So one good thing about a motorcycle update is that you have a wide variety of cars. So since the simpler times up to now, there's a lot of cars. Only the problem, they're very expensive. Oh yeah, tokens. Yes, I'm glad this thing popped up because right now it's saying, okay, buy now for 750,000 credits or 3,750 tokens. Well, no, the tokens, they're too hard to get. Like if they're gonna make you pay with tokens, they shouldn't make it so ridiculously hard to get. Now let's see how much the tokens cost. Okay, that creaky sound, that chair. Anyways, hopefully that's not too much of a nuisance. Okay, they cost the same, but again, what's with all these token cars? They make them ridiculously hard to get. Like, here it is, the 2015 Ford Mustang, 1,050 tokens. Now, do you have any idea how hard that is to get? Like, unless you're a boss at the time limited events or the research and development courses, that is something that's extremely difficult to do, or unless you just pay up front or you hack. But again, most people just seem to hack or forget about it, or they just have to wait forever. I'm out for that. Okay, let's see. What else was I going to discuss again? I was going to discuss something, but I don't exactly know right now. Oh yeah, the motorcycles. I'm going to discuss the motorcycles. So, how do I honestly feel about motorcycles in Asphalt 8? I think it's weird. Alright, I think it's weird. For the longest time, this game has been just about four-wheeled cars. And now motorcycles, I get it. I mean, that's more variety. I think some people like it. Like I do see atmosphere sometimes. But for the motorcycles, I never use them, and I never plan to buy it. Every time I've used the motorcycles is like in those time-limited events where it's like, okay, finish the race and you get like a ticket for like 5,000 credits or whatever. And that's pretty much been it. But otherwise, I don't care for the motorcycles because I am not a motorcycle guy. I just only like those cars. I don't plan to ever actually personally buy them or invest in them because this is Asphalt 8. The four-wheel cars. The cars that we know and the cars that we love. So say no to motorcycles in Asphalt 8. And yes, I sound like an old stale fart, but some of the new changes I do like the wide variety of cars. And oh yes, the tracks! Haven't I discussed that yet? Like, since the simple times, like, you now have so much more tracks. Like, gone are the days when it used to just be, okay, Tokyo, London, French Guiana. No, we all now have, like, tracks like Dragon Tree and all. I wish I could demonstrate that, but, again, because the phone is flat on the desk, I can't lift it up and start racing or it's going to be impossible. I guess I could just demonstrate just for fun and giggles, so why not do that? Have this Audi maxed out, so I'm just going to go on a joke run just to briefly show what it looks like and how I actually appreciate the change for these newer tracks. And yes, what I'm talking about is I should actually go right back to the Q10, because since it's pretty much stuck on the 10 update, unfortunate for BlackBerry 10 owners, but thankfully, if you're on a Windows Phone, Android, or iOS, you get all these cool updates. So here we go, Tenerife, Dragon Tree. Now don't expect this to be a serious race because it's impossible to play in this position. Okay, even if I tilt it like this, I'm gonna be going nowhere. I'm gonna eventually wreck. oh, I'm actually going somewhere. That's crazy. And wrecked! So that's enough of that. You can see right there that we have so much more track, and that's cool. Right now, I think we even have Patagonia, which is notoriously difficult to race on. Well, actually, it's not too bad. When I came in multiplayer, I actually did fairly well. Like, there's a part in a cave where you have some giant rock connected from the ceiling to the ground, and that can cause you to wreck like crazy. Thankfully for me, the secret is to just drift through if you don't think you can handle it. Now, because I've been mentioning the simpler times a lot, it's time to switch phones and take a look at just that. Okay, take two, because the Lumia decided to do that stupid save photos and video thing again, where it only saved it as a couple second files as opposed to an entire video that would have initially been 7 minutes. So, okay, before that happened, which none of you care about, which I just had to let you know, I came here to discuss the simpler times of Asphalt 8, and of course, you won't find it on none other than a BlackBerry 10 device, such as the Q10, where it is just stuck at the China update, or I think it was the Grey update, or was it China? I don't know exactly. Let's just call it the China update for simplicity. So here, there were no motorcycles, there were no blueprints, there were no tokens, there were no more broken or overbuffed cars. Things weren't anywhere near as expensive as they are in the motorcycles update. Like the price of the cars, like take the Veneer for example, it was I think around 32,000. Now you fast forward to the motorcycles update, that thing cost a staggering 150,000. I think the Ferrari FXX Evelyn, I always butcher that name for some reason. I just can't get the hang of it for the life of it. But the point is that those two cars, for example, which are some Class S cars that people pretty much purchased as their first Class S cars, they were much cheaper here than the motorcycles update. So another thing that I mentioned the last time before the video failed to save is that look at the credit packs, cheaper. Like look at this. If you look at the motorcycles update, you see that for 128, all it gets you is just the I can't remember, for $99, aka 100. You get 6.9 million. So you got more bang for your buck. I mean, I don't purchase these things. Like, I do not use them at all because, I think it's a waste of money because, I'd rather do better things. But see, look here. Right here, for $100, you get 6.9 million. For $49, you get 2.7 million. And then for here, you get the idea. Maybe you can see, maybe not. If not, you can just zoom in or how you look better on, kind of high-res monitor. Well, this thing does have a high-res scheme, but right now the phone is kind of distant away from it, so it may or may not show too well, but we'll see when the time comes to edit this video. To this, it was much cheaper. For the car packs, I'm not sure how much the cost differed between the motorcycle version and this version, but again, purchase this because I just don't have time for this. I don't know why you couldn't just make us just buy the game up front. Like, honestly, some people might disagree, but I'd probably rather just pay $10 up front just to have the game free of ads and all this, buy that nonsense, than for that to be present. So another thing that I guess is not so good about this version is the fact that, okay, we don't have Tenerife, we don't have Dubai, we don't have Havoc, but there's just something really nice about the simplicity of this current version. Like just how the fact the cars that were cheaper, there was no blueprints, there were no tokens, and costs weren't astronomical for everything. Like, why couldn't it be like that? Like, why can't we combine the good things from the past and the cool things, the motorcycle updates? Have these cool cars, but make them cost as much as, say, the other cars. And for the upgrade prices, which is another huge thing, make them be normal. Like, cars, they originally cost, I think, like between 125 to 150,000 max out. Let it stay like that. And for Class C, I can't remember how much they cost. But the point is that they should just be easy to max out. And like I said from the other segment, these races need to pay 3 times what they pay now, because even then, Even though the cars were cheaper, still it wasn't quite enough. Like that's why people were hacking. But in this one, because this was BlackBerry 10, I don't think there was any hacked versions of it because bar files are much harder to hack and deal with, and the user base is too small. So I don't think people were actively developing hacked apps. Multiplayer is kind of hard to play in because you didn't have a lot of people, and there were only 8 seasons here. In the Motorcycles update, you have 10. You have the bonus season, which is like Beyond, and you have McLaren Legends. Now, Beyond, I consider a good thing because it allowed you to get more money. It was just like a single track, but then again, you have to use a maxed out car. And because cars are so expensive to max, and oh yeah, speaking of that, they actually jacked up the max prices. Like even for Class D cars, I think they're like gone from like 125,000 like now almost 160,000. That's just ridiculous. Anyways, so for fun and giggles, I should probably just race one of these tracks, probably with like the roof. I won't play properly because the phone is flat on the desk. Poor roofs. They got scrapped from the other game ever since the Porsche cars came in. But like, why would you do that? Like, just because Porsche came in doesn't mean you scrap roof. Like, we still need to purchase them because now you can't play in certain events. Now you complete your career progress and get. You're supposed to go further in career mode if you can no longer play with the roofs. Like, that's just nonsense. Like, you can't pull cars to the game like that and then expect people to go further in career mode. Like, no, you can't do that. Oh yeah, and the load times are ridiculous in this version. Like, goodness gracious, I do not miss that. I don't know if it's because of the outdated chipset, but seriously, load times are ridiculous back in these times. Just nuts. Alright, let's see what I can play, but I'm not going to play too well because I have to tilt this thing. But wait, because it's small, I might actually want to do this. We'll see. Actually, no, I should have used a screen recorder. But again, this isn't to be taken too seriously. I'm doing this just because why not? Okay, this is probably going to look really bad on camera. Actually, this makes a good experiment. Okay, now this feels really weird because I've gotten so used to the slab phone. And yeah, I wrecked, so I'm just going to stop there. But, right. So, in conclusion for Asphalt 8, like I say, keep the cool tracks, keep the wide variety of cars, but please, if you're not going to make the races pay 3 times what they currently do, bring them down. Let all cars cost the same to max out for their respective classes, and not have some like cost over $1 million or $2 million because that's just stupid. Get rid of the blueprints and get rid of the tokens, or at least make the tokens much easier to get. Now I'm out. Wow, so alright, that was a little bit more of a complaint, rant type of video as opposed to a commentary discussion. Like, that did happen, but, you know, if I had to be honest, it'd probably be better to just say it was a video of complaints. But anyways, if you like this video, what do you hate most about Asphalt 8 as of this update? The hackers, the blueprints, the tokens, the expenses, all of the above? Comment, rate, like, subscribe, share, read my blog information, and visit my Twitter page for my latest tweets. And do not forget to also participate in the polls in the top right corner in the I circle.